Okay, the next story, Clara, that we want to talk with you about is a story that was based on a blog post put out by Aether, which is one of the big decentralized AI networks out there. And they were making the point that these GPU chips, which are so in demand for AI use, generally speaking, it has this life cycle where it goes from it's initially being used from training, and then it's used sort of moved down the line. Now it's used for processing these AI queries, the inference, and then it might move on to something else, but that these decentralized AI networks can support that middle market of inference. Curious what you think about that.
Yeah, I love that you read Aether's blog. Aether is actually a very close partner of ours in the Filecoin ecosystem. And Aether is a network that is similar to Filecoin, where Filecoin was the first network out there to really think about decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So DePIN is a shorthand for it, but there's a lot of companies really building on crypto rails, decentralized rails, to really think about how do we actually encourage a secondary market for physical hardware, right? And Aether is one that's doing it on the GPU side. There's decentralized compute networks. For us, it's decentralized data centers for storage, right? But in the AI workload for today and tomorrow, we're seeing a lot of people need all different components in different parts. There's even a whole sector of neoclouds just coming into market today. And I think the Aether blog was exactly on point, where we're going to start to see a lot of people come into realization that cost is going to be the biggest factor for how they're running AI, and they want to lower that cost. And a lot of that might require them to say, hey, is there a way that I can take less intense workloads and move them to cheaper hardware, lower cost GPUs? And this is exactly what DePIN networks were built for from the start, because instead of a single network telling you what you can use and configure certain workplaces for, you can actually piecemeal with Aether. We're actually looking at, what are ways that we can work together around decentralized storage and decentralized compute and decentralized GPUs, right? To really think about the workloads of AI for tomorrow. And I think it's wonderful that a lot of the hardware are also given a second life. Hardware actually has been going up in cost because of trade and supply chain issues, but it certainly is much cheaper to run particular workloads on older hardware than the latest ones today. So I think it's also something that economically just makes more sense versus some of that hardware sitting out and not running anything at all. If those devices can make money, let's make them run. And that's the beauty of DePIN in general.
Well, okay, Wall Street is all over this idea of turning AI into a big commodity market. We've written about that, and there's going to be hedging contracts for AI, the rental prices for the rigs, but also even the token prices might get standardized in some ways. And there's this giant financing industry. You have to kind of hedge your costs if you're going to build these data centers. I'm curious, where does these DePIN networks, are they going to be part of that, of those markets in some way?
Yeah, I think they're already part of it, right? The entire thesis, for example, for us with Filecoin, ever since 2013, 2014, when the idea got started, was what if there's a decentralized network of data centers that can give people an option besides, one single cloud that's running all your workloads? And you also get the basis of protection for making sure that there isn't a single monopoly owning all your data. The same thing is happening with AI, where people are trying to diversify their workloads, not let it be necessarily one single network, but they're also trying to customize it, because a lot of the needs for one company might be very different from the needs of another. And I think what you just said on what's happening on the market side for tokens and every other layer, we're just increasingly seeing this market demand of AI, where there's much more of a marketplace action than historically what we've seen. There's so many unknowns in AI these days in terms of just how quickly demand has picked up. A lot of people are running out of places to even look for data centers that meet the requirements. A lot of workloads require certain data centers to be within a certain region for the speeds to run at a certain place. So a lot of this kind of brokerage is happening where a market makes so much sense for that matchmaking to happen. And that's something that Filecoin's doing. That's something that we've also seen a lot of other crypto or blockchain companies move into, even on the mining side. A lot of the traditional Bitcoin miners, a lot of them are also running data center operations off of that same equipment. Hut 8 is one of them, where they also have a whole AI infrastructure play going on right now. And there's a handful of other companies that have been doing the same. So I think being able to recycle and give hardware so much additional life is fantastic.